What's up, brothers and sisters? It's your boy Juice. I saw this worm once in my life, or actually, I've seen him a couple of times. It is the weirdest thing ever. Um, I was so fascinated with it, and it was so creepy looking that I kind of like bent down to take a good look at it, and I swear it lifted its head and it looked right at me, if that's the thing. And oh man, it's an ugly creature. God, they're so gross, and they're really nasty to the environment. Um, they're very they eat the snails and then they eat other things that are helpful to the environment, and all in all, they're destructive. So hard to get rid of. Anyways, so the shooting that happened in Texas, apparently the guy is Hispanic, and yet he has lightning bolts tattooed on him and a Schwazi. So, and a lot of people were like, he's not white. He's not a white supremacist, which they're pushing quite a bit on the TV. That's why I don't watch TV. That's why I don't get on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't do that stuff. You know why? Because it's bad for you. Yeah, it's bad for you. If you stayed off of it, your mind would never be poisoned. And I'm going to say it again. Just like I always say. I always say if I lived in the woods for like 2, 3 months, if I could, and then I came back to society, I'd have like a beard and all that, and I'd be all like, look like caveman. And everyone would just be like freaking out over their own shadow, right? And I'd be like, why is everybody running, right? And everybody's like, didn't you hear? And I'm like looking around like, what? Like, what's going on? Like, I wouldn't even know any of this stuff existed. You know what I mean? And don't burden yourself with all the things in the world, because there's nothing you can do about it anyways. It's going to happen. It is what it is. And, the best thing you can do is just put your hands together and pray about it. Not only will you feel good for yourself, like number 88, but you'll feel good about everything else. You know what I mean? And, the funny thing was, I was attacked the other day by a bunch of people whom I'm sure certain people sent this way to come attack. And it's funny because they always do the same thing. They always like make a joke to make me like look stupid or sound stupid, or like that it's not that big a deal. Or they say like, oh, big deal, right? Like, oh, that happens all the time, right? And I'm like, yeah. And the funny thing was, I was like, yeah, but it says it in the Bible. I mean, which was written like, what, 2,000 some years ago? And it's been pretty accurate. So, I'm wondering what these people thought about that. I'm sure they had no response because they're like, well, yeah, but they're going to say something, right? Like, oh, well, the Bible's blah, 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 blah. Nah, I don't care. Get out of here with that. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. They ain't ever going to stop me. If they do stop me, then I'll just make a Juice Greats channel part 2. So if they ever crash this channel, it'll just be Juice Greats and it'll say like 2 or part 2. And if they crash that channel, I'll make it part 3. You know what I mean? I'm in the middle of making a movie. It's called Juice Greats Stars as himself in bare hands. And literally, I'm going to get bare hands, like from a bear. Because people are always like, I don't kill with guns, I kill with my bare hands, right? So that'll be like the slogan. And then it'll be like me on the picture with like my hands, right? And then there's going to be a part 2. I've already signed a contract. It'll come out next summer. And I'm going to get an upgrade, but it's going to be handguns. So it's going to be guns for hands, but the movie's going to be called Handguns, right? So I'm literally going to have guns for hands, and the movie's called Handguns, right? So the first one will be bare hands. I'll have like claws, right? Like a bear. And the second one is bare hands, and I'll have like basically claws again, and then handguns, right? Like, so it should be pretty exciting. I'm just kidding. But anyways, yeah, all you can do is just pray about things, you know what I mean? Trust me, you'll feel better about yourself. You'll feel better for everyone else. And might not get answered right away. That's not how it works. The Almighty is kind of a busy guy. So don't expect like, to feel like you got powers or like something just changed in the world, right? It'll come when it comes. It's not always right away. Blessings of strength.